The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Hangin' with the Boys. We only have a 3-box on the screen today because we are Kurtless. Kurt had an appointment he had to go to, so he may pop in at some point before the end of the show, but we'll just act like he's not going to be here, which is what we do basically every other day anyway. So the show won't look a lot different other than the way it looks on the screen. So, Nate, how you doing today, brother? Nice shirt.
Hey, great. Thank you, my friend.
Look at them guns, man. Look at them guns.
Just turn inside. Well, I'm looking at this defense of the New York Giants and waiting on you, Shannon. Waiting on you.
Okay.
How you doing, right, Jesse? Good to see you, Chris. I know you're not on the screen, but good to see you too.
Jesse, how you? You good?
I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. It's Positive Wednesday. Let's do it.
All right. Well, we put that ugly Browns game to bed.
You know what? I tried not to say that. I tried not to say this. But, boy, the drugstore is coming this week, baby. Yes, sir. The New York Giants will heal all our needs, baby. Yes, I just tried not to do it, Jesse. They will heal all our needs, baby. Yes.
Okay.
I tried to say.
Nate, why do you think that? What are you seeing on the Giants defense that makes you think that they are the cure-all for this team?
Brother, they're inconsistent just like us. Against the Rams, they gave up 58 yards rushing. Against the 49ers, they gave up 93-yard rushing. You'd be like, ooh, the Giants are tough. Then they gave up 135 against the Bears, then another 141 against. So they're inconsistent. They got a new coach in Joe Judge. They're inconsistent. They got a new defensive coordinator in Patrick Graham, and they got Jason Garrett. They're inconsistent. They don't know who they are. They have no identity. They try to play good team defense, but you can beat them. This team is trying to go on the rise. Their average not going down, but man, come on, man. They're 0-4. I know we 1-3, but they're 0-4. Come on, fellas. This is a drugstore, boy, waiting to kick the doors out. This should be illegal, man, for selling illegal pharmaceutical needs, bro. Come on now.
All right. Voice
We
of
can't beat
reason.
the Giants. Who can we beat?
That's a great question.
Come on now.
All right, voice of reason. Are you as excited about the Giants coming to town as Nate is?
I am. I'm right there with Nate, man.
Okay.
Rite Aid, CVS, Walgreens,
Come
Tom
on, man.
Thumb. What else? Who? Fiesta. Who else got pharmacies?
Man,
Listen, this is what the doctor ordered. When you're trying to see, the thing is, people usually say that about the Cowboys. Oh, Cowboys coming to town? Oh, we're gonna get right. We got a problem. But now we finally got someone that we could say, the Giants come to town, it's time to get right. Here's where you can right all your wrongs and hopefully set a tone that will take you to the next stratosphere. You run off 12 straight. But I'm just saying, I am with Nate. I agree with you, Nate. I am excited with you. Today is Positive Wednesday, and we have just what the doctor ordered coming to town, coming to AT&T Stadium this Sunday, and that is the discombobulated New York Giants. Yes, I am with you.
You know what I like about this show is we're able to waller in our self-misery with the fans on Monday and Tuesday. And then when Wednesday comes around, it's like a light switch, and you guys make me believe again. You make me believe that we're going to win, that we're going to win handedly, that we're going to beat the Giants by 30 points. So
listen, this is the players in us. As players,
yes.
Wednesdays are usually full pad practice. It's the toughest practice. It's the heaviest install. So you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind focused on how we're going to go beat this team. And you got to figure out all the positive that you can bring to beat your next opponent. So that's what you get from me and Nate. Wednesdays,
that's
all
right.
right, listen, the other game is behind us now. We looking forward and we see an opportunity to capitalize on a team that is looking worse than us. Thank you, Jesus.
Especially in the first 9 weeks when you still have a legit chance at the playoffs.
Right.
And
right now, we have a 66% chance
Thank
to win
you.
the division and a 68% chance to make it to the playoffs. That's more
Thank
than
you.
50-50. That's more than
Right.
50-50. You
That's
got to take that.
unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
If you're a gambler, 68% is pretty good.
Thank you.
Real good. All right, you guys brought it up. You said they're going to come to town. They're going to fix the Cowboys. You see it every year. You see teams that start off bad. You see bad football teams that progressively get better as the season goes on. And what you want to do is you want to hit your stride at the end of the season, rolling into the playoffs. Have you guys been on teams where one game makes that difference and flips that switch and things just the ball starts bouncing right? Players start doing better. Is there such a thing as a team getting you back on track and turning your season around?
For us, it was the year that we finally made it to the playoffs with Coach Johnson. I don't know what game it was, man, and I wish I could just grasp it. But right then, our team was different. We may not have won another game, but our team was different. And we believed, and I think we got in the playoffs and got smoked by Barry Sanders. But we had a belief in our hearts from that point on, kind of like the Bills game, the Cowboys-Bills games last year. You notice the Bills, even though they had a bad playoff once they lost, you notice how they rolling this year? That Cowboy game was their belief game, man. That was their belief game. Think back to it. Them young boys on the sideline talking about the Cowboys ain't built like this. I remember them saying, I'm like, man, we should have crushed them. We should have hurt them. But we didn't. We didn't, man. Bruh, come on, man. Blake Martinez and Jesse Skew. Blake Martinez is a good linebacker. He makes a lot of tackles. Yeah, he makes a lot of tackles. But a lot of those tackles has been out in open field because every team say, okay, we don't want him up in close quarter. They put him out in open field, make him, he still tackles you, but it's for a 3 and 4 yard gain. Lorenzo Carter, he got a sack or two. They got 10 sacks as a team. They got like 28 hits for losses, but nothing spectacular. Nobody that say, whoa. They got a guy, Kyler, I don't want Fackrell. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, and I don't want to mess the kid's name, but he's got 2 sacks. I mean, but he's a lumbering guy. You double move him as a running back and you lose him. And he makes plays, but you see his defaults. And they're playing good as a whole defense, but you're still gaining yards. You're still gaining yards. You know, and let's go right quick. The Steelers, it was 26-16. The Bears, it was 13-17. With the 49ers, it was a blast out, 9-36. And with the Rams, it was 9-17. So if you got a great offense, you can bust them up. If you got a so-so offense, it's going to be a struggle. And if our offense can get consistent, we can blow these guys out of the water. Mm-hmm. If they just decide in their mind to not turn the ball over and play that game there, they'll blow these guys out of the water. But if they turn that rock over and give them a little bit of glory, this could be a dogfight, and we don't need that. We need to have a game where everybody just be marching down the streets like that thing they have in Mardi Gras, just marching down the streets, everybody hollering with chains on, just having fun. This is how this game should be. Why are you laughing, Jess?
Show us why we should throw you some beads. Show us why we should show the world why we should throw you some beads.
Bro, I'm just being honest. I mean, I've been the gloom and doom man the last 3-4 weeks, right? I've been the gloom and doom man. Like, are y'all sure? This is a game. Come on, dog. This is a game where we should kill these cats, man.
I always say when you're playing a division opponent, and whether that be the football team in Washington, whether that be the Giants, whether that be the Eagles, that it's always going to be a tough game because this team knows you, they're familiar with it. You play them twice a year, every single year. So a lot of what teams do from the GM perspective and building a roster is essentially to win their division. And then once you win your division, you hope that you have a roster good enough to go in and compete for a championship. So every roster is built in this division to go and compete and win the division first, and then be able to have a playoff run, and then try to win a championship. And we've all been a part of these games. You know, Nate, you've been a part of these games from the 90s, and you watched them since then. I've been a part of these things since the late and mid 2000s, and watched it, all this time. The same thing for you, Shannon. And we've always seen it. It's no matter what the records are, one person can be really good or really bad. When they get together, it's usually at the onstart, a tough game. And then sometimes it gets blown open at some point in time in the game. So I expect that early on, that it's going to be a little nip and tuck, to go early on. But when you look at what this Giant team is defensively, they have a new coaching staff like us. They're less, and we're just going on names. They have less names as far as talent than we do on defense. They give up a lot of yards. And for what we're doing right now offensively, we should be able to go and attack this team, because we know what they're going to do offensively. We know they're going to be very vanilla. They're not going to be very explosive. They don't have Saquon Barkley. So we know what they are offensively, because we were that for the last 10 years. We have to just come out and, to Nate's point, alleviate the mistakes. And I mean the penalties, the pre-snap penalties, the holdings. I mean turning the ball overs. There shouldn't be a fumble in this game from our quarterback, our running backs, or our receivers. Like, that should be an emphasis that you put to work this week in practice. But if we just come out and play, like even if our defense continues to be as bad as they are, offensively, if we don't turn the ball over, we can beat this team. And we should beat this team.
And I'm going to tell you something, man. How can they keep you out of the end zone? I'm being honest. Tell me, how can they keep the Dallas Cowboys? Oh, Dak. I see it with quarterbacks. They make up in their mind, I ain't taking a sack. I remember we was getting ready to play the Philadelphia Eagles. They had just obliterated us 2 or 3 games before with 11 sacks and 100,000 hits. Coach Johnson came in and he looked at Troy and said, we're not taking no more sacks. He looked at the offensive line and said, we're not taking no more sacks. Well, it wasn't Troy, it was another quarterback. I can't think of the kid's name, great quarterback. And he said, get
great quarterback. Don't know the kid's name. Can't remember his name. He came from Notre Dame. And he played for the Panthers. He came from Notre Dame, played for the Panthers. But anyway, he said, get rid of the ball. We're not holding the ball. Now, the offensive line coach was mad, and the offensive coordinator was mad. But guess what? We only gave up 1 sack. I gave up that sack, but we only gave up 1 sack. And we had no hits. And we won the game. That's because the quarterback decided that he wasn't giving up sacks. I see quarterbacks do it all the time. Don't give up a sack. That's on you. Don't give up a sack. Do not. Well, here's something else that's interesting. I know maybe it's just a vet Wednesday, a Romo Wednesday, but Tyron Smith didn't practice today. So I'm hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that it was just one of those, Romo Wednesdays, and he was just getting a break before getting back to work.
That's all it was. That's all it better be. Because we don't need to hear about Friday. Tyron Smith ain't practiced. I ain't playing. Let's hear about it today so we all know. And we don't care about the Giants knowing. Let us know. Let him know. Let his teammates know. And they probably know if they, But I'm just saying, I'm getting a little bit hyped. Don't say that, Jesse. You're taking away my thrill.
No, I'm just giving you information that I just want to make sure that we understand that.
Yeah. Okay. That's just a Romo Wednesday, bro.
I'm with you. I agree. I hope so. Let's pray.
I hope so too. You know what?
Well,
let me ask you this: if he doesn't play, do the Giants have the personnel to take advantage of that, or can a backup slide in on the Cowboys' offensive line and be okay this week?
Then you bringing back Terrence Steele, who you've taken his job and given it to Brandon Knight. So his psyche isn't good right now. But what you have to do, and Jesse sent out this yesterday, why didn't they get his guy protection from the start? What you do now is you do not let him sit over there without any protection. Great little film yesterday. That's why Kurt is at the doctor's. You stuck them films out yesterday, Jesse, and this kid ain't recovered. I'm like, quit sending out them horror films, dog.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll get into a little bit more Cowboys offense, a little more Giants defense, and a little more other things on the next segment of Hanging with the Boys.
Why, Chris?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again for Tailgating with the OtterBox Boys.
OtterBox, the company that builds wildly overprotective phone cases?
The one and only. But cases are just the start. OtterBox is the official outfitter of tailgating.
If they can keep my phone safe, what can they do for my parking lot party?
How about protecting your beverages from suboptimal drinking temperatures with their elevation tumblers? And OtterBox elevation tumblers come in 3 sizes: a 10-ouncer, a 20-ouncer, and even a 64-ounce growler.
Check out all the colors and sizes of their elevation tumblers at otterbox.com.
It's football season, and when you're tailgating with your friends and your family, you want the best meat on your grill. Pettigene Meats makes the best hot dogs, the Pettigene Griller, or the all-beef Franks will score. To complete that tailgate meal, Pettigene Meats has hickory smoked sausage, hot links, Polish sausage, and the best hickory smoked bacon and ham around. Available at your local retailer. And a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Pettigene Meats. Taste the difference.
We
can't wait to see the Cowboys back on the field, and we can't wait to pack AT&T Stadium to watch them play. When that time comes, SeatGeek is the place to get all of your tickets. Plus, tickets to the hundreds of games, concerts, rodeos, and other live events we'll all be able to enjoy again soon. Every SeatGeek purchase is protected by a buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. SeatGeek. Let's go.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the SWBC Mortgage Living Room, Frisco, Texas. Nate Newton, Jesse Holly. We are Kurtless today. Chris Beam running the board. Chris, adjust your cleats, adjust your pads, even adjust your helmet, but seriously, don't adjust your underwear, especially while you're eating on the job, because once it's seen, it cannot be unseen. Tommy John's fabric keeps you cool and dry on the field or in the stands, and now they even have loungewear. Yeah, loungewear. They've got loungewear. Shop underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 15% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. So, since Kurt's not here, I'll get into a little bit of his favorite site, Pro Football Focus.
Okay.
Kurt's thinking that our passing game should have a huge day on Sunday. He says Pro Football Focus has James Bradbury ranked second among NFL quarterbacks, but the rest of the secondary does not look that great. Kurt wants to know, this is a write-in question, will it be easy to scheme around Bradbury and take advantage of the not-so-great guys around him?
One guy doesn't make that difference if his name ain't Deion Sanders, where you can cover the rest of the world. James Bradbury is good, but he ain't great, and he should not be able to stick with our number one receiver, number 19. He should slow him down, but he ain't going to be able to stop him. And I'm telling you, the best receiver is number 13. So, number 13 finna go off.
Ooh,
that's Gallup. Yeah, he finna go off, dog. Who gonna cover him? And then that's gonna open up the Lamb. As long as we keep our punt return there, because that is scary. I mean, even though he averaging over 10 yards of return, boy, every time this kid get hit, I be thinking he's gonna get broke. Don't y'all have that same feeling? Every time he get hit, I be like, whoa.
He looks very thin. He looks like a sheet of paper running out there. So, Jesse, what do you think? Can you scheme around? Is Bradbury good enough to take somebody out of the game?
You know what? For this game, and I know that we've been seeing these eye-popping and these just jaw-dropping numbers from Dak in the last last 3 weeks, 430 yards passing, all that kind of stuff. But this is the game. I keep telling you guys. Nate said it, and I'm going to keep repeating it. This is the medicine game. This is the take 2 of these and call me in the morning game. This is the game. We honestly should not have to pass the ball for 450 yards this game. This is a game that you reestablish Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm not saying fall in love with the run game and run the ball 40 times a game.
You don't have to.
But what I'm saying is this is one of those games where you can come in because they don't have a dominant front. They don't have any guys up front that scare you, that you're worried that our guys should not be able to block. They don't have any bullies on their defensive line. But this is one of those games where you get Ezekiel Elliott going. Now, the trend for Zeke is every year he's been in the league, his yards have declined. And this year, I think he's only averaging about 68 yards rushing per game. This is the game you get him involved. This is the game you feed that lion again. You give that lion a little bit of taste of blood again, because I mean you want to know some of the reasons why a player may have a downward kind of thing when bad things start happening to him is because they can't find a way to get going again. They can't find that positive part of their game again. And, Zeke's looking around the entire time, and I'm not saying that he's sulking or anything like that, but he's looking around, he's seeing, their rookie has 100 yards. Oh, so-and-so has 12 targets. Oh, so-and-so has another 13 targets. Oh, we got Blake. And the ball is going every which way, and Zeke has had his opportunity, and he's had a chance, and he dropped some. But who he is, the essence of who Ezekiel Elliott is put the ball in my gut and let me get downhill. This is one of those games where I don't think you're going to have to scheme up around Bradbury and throw the ball 400 yards this game. This is me personally. I think this is one of those games where you get back to establishing the line of scrimmage, running the ball, play action pass, and use it that way. But this is a perfect game. I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record. This is a perfect game and a perfect situation where I can get Zeke going again, get him some touches, get him some yards, get him feeling good about himself again as a runner, and then, use your play action off that.
I'm kind of simple sometimes. And
sometimes
400, subtle shot, not good enough. I think sometimes, man, when people see 400 yards and they see 800 this and all that's good for fantasy, but you got to equate some of these things to wins. You can have 400 yards offense this week with a win, and not everybody's feeling good. That means you've rushed for maybe 130, you threw for 300 yards or close to 300 yards, and everybody's looking good and no interceptions, no fumbles, and everybody's back in the groove, man. And now you go into the next game feeling good about yourselves, and you ain't trying to repair a whole lot of stuff. Coaches going to have to coach. And this is the amazing thing about it. We all try to turn the page on wins, but coaches are trying to coach these guys, especially the defense, out of what just happened. Okay, fellas, because the league is a copycat league, and just to tell you, the Giants going to try some of them running plays, as simple as they were. They're going to try some of them running plays. They're going to try some of them reverses. So they got to be coaching from last week coming into this week defensively. So it's a healing process, man.
Yeah, it's some more Kurt stats. Giants appear to be better against the run than against the pass. They rank 10th per game in yards allowed, 106 rushing yards. And Kurt put in here that Zeke has only been facing 8-man fronts 10% of the time, which is it's kind of mind-boggling how they're not able to get him going in these games. I know he's had, like you said, Jesse, he's had some opportunities with some swing passes and some screens and some little short dink and dunks over the middle. Is that just a byproduct of they've started every game slow and started behind and they're not able to get Zeke going, or are they just not using him like they should be using him?
I understand you finna say yes, Jesse, but I say no. Because I'm looking at our offensive line and they have not done nothing. Especially in the first few games, they have not done nothing. You cannot, as an offensive lineman, one thing Coach Wise and Coach Hudson used to tell us, fellas, if you want to not run the ball, give your offensive coordinator negative plays run-wise in the first quarter. What have they been doing? Everything Zeke been doing is a fight because the middle of our offensive line is not played well. Particularly our left guard, he's getting blown back in the backfield. The offensive coordinator like, man, we can't do this. Let's do something different. The offensive line coach like, hey man, run this, run that. No, I'm serious. It's just a mindset now of what our offensive line gonna do. Because even if they want to go backwards and say pass to set up the run, when you run, they still want to see positive yards. We don't have enough positive yards. Zeke has only had, 1 yard or 15 yards or more a run of getting the ball in his gut and running 15 yards. And Cleveland got 8 of them. Cleveland got 8 to 10 20-yard runs from their running backs.
You convinced me, Nate. I agree with you.
Yeah, man. I'm being honest.
No. You made great points. You made absolutely great points. And I take it to add on to that is this team hasn't played with the lead. Again, seven snaps.
13 minutes.
7 snaps have they played with the league in any of the games this season. In all the games this season. Just seven offensive snaps. So when you're playing from behind and you're trying to produce some energy, as a play caller, especially a young play caller, you sometimes tend to, I don't want to say panic, but you'll revert back to the things that you're comfortable with. And for Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy, they, a quarterback, those guys want to pass the ball because they're saying, man, we got to get some things going. And, in the running game, that's not really one of those things that kind of gets you going, go make a play downfield, get the crowd excited, get your teammates excited. So you kind of want to throw your way sometimes back into football games. And they've done a great job in doing that the last couple of weeks with throwing themselves back into football games late in the games. But to Nate, you convinced me. I was going to disagree and go the opposite way with you, but I hit the U-turn and I'm coming back with you, brother.
It's just, you go back and you look at, it's called BIG. Big plays.
PPA. No
yeah.
info. Oh,
that's and so when you look at that and you see one team with 10 or 12 plays running for 20 yards or more, that means that it's a wild play in the crowd. Like you say, Jesse, ain't nobody sitting in most stadiums. Everybody can get excited because it's a long run. But beating up folks, that's what the offensive line like. We like beating up folks. Mm-hmm. Offensive coordinators like killing folks with scores. And that long pass is what's been doing it for us. Coming back in the games. We're not winning them, but we're coming back in the game. It ain't going to be by running. It's going to be by passing. And if you watch Zeke, when he's had open holes, he's ran nice. But when he's not, second and 10, second and 11, second and 10. Second and 11. That's not a play down now. That's a dictated down of passing. That's not a play down. You want to be second and 5 or less. Now it's a play down. You can play with that down. You can't play with that down with second and 7, second and 8, second and 10. That's a throwing down. Unless you Cleveland. Then it's whatever you want it to be.
Nate, you're talking about the offensive line not doing much. Jesse, you sent us a clip yesterday of Brian Baldinger on his Twitter account. It broke down a play where they had Myles Garrett one-on-one with, was it Terrence Steele? Was that who they had him up against?
Yeah.
I didn't even look at that, fellas. I was like, I'm not looking at that.
So the question, you brought up offensive line's not doing much. Is it they physically aren't capable of doing it with the personnel they have, or is it scheming from the coaches, or is it the guys missing assignments? What is it about the offensive line that Nate that you're seeing that they're not doing much? Are they just getting over physical?
Yeah. It's the same guys. See, when it's the same guys, at least you know where the bad spot's at, but it's messing up the continuity of the other 2 or 3 guys. We get on a wave and all of a sudden I'm knocked back and the guy behind me running past me because I'm knocked back. He can't get to his guy because I'm supposed to be slipping off my guy to the next guy to the next level, and we can't get there. when the middle of the offensive line is not performing well, and we know that the right guard is, but he still got to deal with a center and a left guard. If they're not performing well, we can't get no type of movement. That if you run into the right and all of a sudden you make a Zeke cut back to the left, I mean, that is a bad thing because, first of all, you might get a holding from one of the guys because the guy going to jerk back and all the jerseys going to be seen. Or that guy that's coming down off the weak side, that wheel linebacker, going to smash him in his head. So that's not a positive thing. So that's why you got to be able to move that thing and let Zeke smoothly, Tony Pollard smoothly wind his way back, hit the hole going 90 going north. They trying to press the hole, but the nose guard is going to cut the hole off, and you got to make a certain turn back door, and your left tackle out there like, oh, his man way over here, like, oh, my God, I got to hold it. That ain't even on me.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, let's wrap it up with let's talk about Dak. I want to get your opinions on if he's a better quarterback when he passes like he did a couple of years ago in that 250, 275
I want the
range.
rookie Dak.
Or if they just let it fly like they have and let Dak deal, as Jesse says. We'll talk about that when we come back for the last segment of Hanging with the Boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again for Tailgating with the OtterBox Boys.
OtterBox, the company that builds wildly overprotective phone cases?
The one and only. But cases are just the start. OtterBox is the official outfitter of tailgating.
If they can keep my phone safe, what can they do for my parking lot party?
How about protecting your beverages from suboptimal drinking temperatures with their elevation tumblers? And OtterBox elevation tumblers come in 3 sizes: a 10-ouncer, a 20-ouncer, and even a 64-ounce growler.
Check out all the colors and sizes of their elevation tumblers at otterbox.com.
It's football season, and when you're tailgating with your friends and your family, you want the best meat on your grill. Pettigene Meats makes the best hot dogs, the Pettigene Griller, or the all-beef Franks will score. To complete that tailgate meal, Pettigene Meats has hickory smoked sausage, hot links, Polish sausage, and the best hickory smoked bacon and ham around. Available at your local retailer. And a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Pettigene Meats. Taste the difference.
We can't wait to see the Cowboys back on the field, and we can't wait to pack AT&T Stadium to watch them play. When that time comes, SeatGeek is the place to get all of your tickets. Plus, tickets to the hundreds of games, concerts, rodeos, and other live events we'll all be able to enjoy again soon. Every SeatGeek purchase is protected by a buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. SeatGeek. Let's go.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back, SWBC Mortgage Living Room, Frisco, Texas. Final segment of the Wednesday turnaround. AT&T Stadium at home, craving AT&T Stadium's famous Cowboys cheesesteak, nachos, or Cowboy Rito when you're watching the Cowboys game at home. Bring your favorite stadium fare to you. Pickup and delivery options available via online ordering every week. Check out the menu at attststadium.com/at-home. That's pretty cool. I didn't know they were doing that. That's pretty neat.
Well, hold on.
Neat
You in the stadium all by yourself, and you don't know what's going on?
I know what I eat. I ain't worried about what everybody else is eating.
You was doing a promotion, bro, so you got to be worried about what everybody else is. Bring me and Jesse some of that stuff.
I know
For
now.
real, I'll take one of them cheesesteaks.
I'll take one of them cheesesteaks.
Dude, there are a few things in life that are more enjoyable to me than stadium and fair food. Just because
the fair food, yeah.
Sometimes it's just it's not that great, but it's just something about like getting food like a barbecue sandwich or a Frito pie or just something you don't normally eat at a stadium or at a fair, man. I don't know what it is. All right. back to business. Last segment of the show. Let's talk about Dak. Jesse, you've been on Twitter all year long. Let Dak deal. Let Dak deal. My question to you is this a better football team when Dak's not dealing? When he's throwing for 275 yards and they're I mean, there's parts of me that love this new offense, and there's parts of me that are kind of like, were we doing it better in the past? Were we doing it better trying to control the game with the run and limiting the opportunities for interceptions and turnovers, and Dak was taking care of the ball a little bit better? Like four games in, do you guys like the way the offense has been opened up, or should we go back to the old way a little bit, or maybe find a balance where some games you do, some games you don't? Just want to get y'all's thoughts.
We're not scoring enough early to do that. We're not consistent enough, but I'll let Jesse break down Dak.
Here's the thing that I see now from the 2020 Dak that we didn't see in the 2016, 2017 Dak. We see a quarterback who is, one, much more confident in his ability. He is not afraid to let the ball go down the field. And here's what you get. When you get those quarterbacks, when you get those gunslingers, you understand that there's a high risk, high reward to any gunslinging quarterback. When you start throwing the ball down the field and you get up there into the 30s and 40 attempts a game, and you're throwing the ball 10, 15, 20 yards down the field multiple times a game, you're going to run the risk of sacks. You're going to run the risk of interceptions. The thing that Dak's confidence, as John Kitna would put it, he's more comfortable letting it rip now. Before, he used to be very cautious and would miss throws and miss windows and be late with the football because he was a little bit hesitant and cautious and reluctant to just let it rip. I think now he's seeing the game better. I think that he understands his offense a lot more, almost to its point where he's really in control of his offense. You want to see a mixture. I want to see a mixture of let Dak deal, but have the mindset of the cautious Dak. It's when, and this becomes a part of being a gunslinger, which I still think Dak is developing, not as a quarterback, but just as a gunslinger. It's when do I try to fit that throw in there? Is that a smart throw? Like taking calculated risk. And I know that sounds crazy when talking about someone being a gunslinger like a Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers who just throw that thing in there no matter what. But he has to be able to use that calculated side. Is this the right throw to throw? And you want him to get a little bit more help on his defense, because what makes a good quarterback a great quarterback is him realizing, I got to eat this one or throw this one away, and I'm okay with punting. The problem is he hasn't had that support. So what you see is full throttle gunslinging Dak, and it's got him in a little bit of trouble because with the sacks, with the fumbles, and with the interceptions. Those turnovers you want to be eliminated. But I like this new Dak. I like the confident Dak. You can see in his step. You can see in his demeanor. When you have this many weapons, you got to use them. There's no need to have all these weapons and be cautious. He's letting it rip. You don't want the turnovers, but those are things that come along with the territory. But I like this Dak. Give me this Dak over the rookie Dak. I'll take this Dak.
Let me say this here, and I'm going to give y'all the stats on Hannibal Lecter. He has, I'm serious, this guy I'm talking about has 4 games, 98, 139 attempts, 98 completions, 70% completion rate, average 8.7 yards, average 309 yards a game. His longest is 72. He had 13 TDs, 0 interceptions, and 3 sacks. That's Hannibal Lecter. That's Aaron Rodgers. Dak is not Aaron Rodgers. But what I want from Dak is what Jesse just said. You got to understand that Myles Garrett standing out there, he's not sacking me. It's all right to punt. I'm rolling away from him. the protection I'm giving is always going to favor him. And even if the coach say, hey, this is the protection, I'm saying, Zeke, roll out that way on your way out. Roll out that way. Change his direction. You can see in the game. And Dak is only in his 5th year. But you can see in the game where Aaron Rodgers, you said it off air, Jess, this last game, Aaron Rodgers walked to the sideline smiling.
Laughing.
When he smiles, laughing. When he smiles at you, Jesse, what does that mean?
Game over.
Game over.
Nate, why you call that man Hannibal Lecter?
Because he would eat you down to your body, to your last body part. He would eat you. Hannibal Lecter would know how to saute a liver, baby. I'm being honest. And there's only a few guys, man. Y'all know me. I've always been about Aaron Rodgers. And my number one guy, I traded him for the guy in Kansas City, but I'm coming back to my boy. Aaron Rodgers is special. He's got a better offensive line than us right now. But his defense ain't that much better than ours. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. They got Smith and Smith. I just lied. Take that back. Their defense is great. And this kid is
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just got a little hype by Hannibal Lecter. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jess.
No, I was just saying for Dak is that you see at times that, and I don't want to say it because who's the compared to Aaron? No, I'm not saying it's Aaron Rodgers, but you see at times he does Aaron Rodgers-esque stuff.
Right.
That throw that he threw to Amari in the first half, he threaded one in there. That's Aaron Rodgers right there. He threaded one in there. He put one in the window that closed like that. But the thing is that he just has to know when to hold him and when to fold him. That's becoming the thing that Dak has to understand. And I get it from his perspective. When he stands on that sideline and he watches that defense, in his mind, you cannot think the way that he's probably thinking is, man, I got to go and do something spectacular, because if I got to give the ball back to these jokers with this defense, we don't stand a chance. So in his mind, he's always thinking, I got to go and get the big play. I got to go and score a touchdown, because if I don't, our defense is going to let them score a touchdown, and now I'll be really fighting from behind. So you want him to get a little bit more help, but I give me this Dak. I can see it. I can see it in this Dak.
Yeah.
I can see it with this guy. And I said if he had a little bit of help on defense, he wouldn't have to take all the risk. But this is the guy, and the new way football is going, this is the guy that you're going to need to play the way that he's playing.
And you know what? I ain't been tripping on Zeke, but Zeke got to be his number one help. And you had a 24-yard run and fumbled. The week before that, you fumbled twice. Zeke got to be his help. I don't care about the great wide receivers. We know these guys got potential to be real explosive. But Zeke has got to be that consistency, because I go to another guy. 65 rushing attempts for 374 yards, 5.8 average, 75 long, 2 big runs of 20 yards or more, 4 TDs, 93 yards of receiving. That's Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is not better than Zeke, but what he is, he's consistent, and he ain't turning that ball loose, fellas. He ain't turning that ball loose. Your running back has to be that thing when he looks out there, hey, man, there goes Zeke, boom. Hey, all right, Zeke, I'm in a little trouble, boom. And know that it's going to be okay. That has not happened in the last 2 games. See, I've been all over the defense, but our offense, if you going to be what we have invested, all the money, all the draft picks, everything, you have to be that anchor. You have to be, when we need to be stable, we got to know you're going to grab the bottom of the ocean and stop that ship from, that's just how it got to be.
What's going on with the fumbles? Is that mental? Is that physical? Zeke has not been known as a fumbler, but this year he's got a fumbling problem. What is happening there?
And the league gonna eat on him until he stops. He gonna have to have less of a run and more security for about 2 or 3 games. He gonna have to be covered up for the 2 or 3 games. He cannot turn the ball loose for 2 or 3, 4, maybe 4 games. So we're a league of 4-game films. If we got 4 cans on you, we're gonna look at you, and if you fumble, them coaches gonna feed like sharks, man. So he got to go 2 or 3 games and gash some folks and punish them. When they see them ripping at that ball, you got to see him going for 2 or 3 extra yards. That'll make them stop and tackle him.
All right. Well, fellas, the show went by really fast today without Kurt.
Oh, my God. You're taking shots at Kurt.
No, I'm not. It seemed like a fast show. Like the time just slipped away from us. I mean, it's already over. We're already out of our 45 minutes. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show today without Kurt.
Did nothing to you, man. All Kurt has done was love and support you.
Even when I try to backstab you, Kurt still take up for you.
Nate. You look good in that shirt, man.
You got friends like Shannon.
Keep working out, Nate. Keep working out. Jesse, you're looking good, man. Good show today. Nice Wingstop.
Look good, Jesse, in that tight shirt.
Yeah.
Chris Bean, enjoy your chicken dinner, man. Tomorrow, guess what we get to talk about tomorrow, fellas? We get to talk about JG again. Coach Garrett is back in the building. We're going to talk about that, this thing that they call a Cowboys defense.
Hold on. Nick Chubb just ran by my yard. Chubb, stop running.
We're going to talk about that and a lot more. Same time, same place. Hanging with the boys tomorrow. Tune in. We will be back and see you then. Later.
Grace.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.